The holidays are approaching fast, and all we want for Christmas is more Aggie action. We'll look back at the fall season as we feature Aggie Vision's top 10 semester highlights. Then one of the top men's basketball players in school history, senior Daniel Mullings, will join me. We'll discuss his accomplishments and also his team's play. New Mexico State women's basketball is on a roll with 3 straight wins. We sit down with head coach Mark Trapp to go over his team's recent stretch and also preview their upcoming road games. Now that fall ball is complete and 2015 is right around the corner, head softball coach Kathy Rodolph will stop by and we'll talk about her team's upcoming season. It's the last episode in 2014. Heat up some hot chocolate, light the fire, and stay locked in. This is New Mexico State Sports Weekly. We're glad you joined us for New Mexico State Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Adam Young. The year is coming to an end, and with it, the fall season is about to come to a close for New Mexico State athletics. From basketball to cross country, the Aggies racked up highlight after highlight, leading to an overall positive fall season. Aggie Vision filtered through the eventful semester to bring you the top 10 New Mexico State athletic accomplishments from the fall 2014 season. Let's take a look at the top 10. Coming in at number 10 on our list is the recent hiring of Aggie alum Brian Green as the new head coach of Aggie baseball. His players have been active in the community, and his first recruiting class is drawing rave reviews. Expectations are high in year 1 for Brian Green. Number 9. Boasting a roster of talented athletes, the women's tennis team hosted the Aggie Invitational and came out with a huge tournament win right here in Las Cruces. The Aggies had home court advantage and walked away with a 36-8 overall record in the tournament. Number 8. One of the most action-packed moments all year sits at number 8 on our list when Bakersfield came to town for a 5-set thriller that ended with an Aggie victory over this year's WAC champs. The Aggies held strong and rallied to take down Bakersfield in the 5th set by 7 points. Number 7. New Mexico State's Hob Rubio racked up cross country's first men's title in the WAC championship. Bringing home a New Mexico State first is never easy, but senior Hob Rubio made every Aggie proud with his outstanding performance in the championship. At number 6, Daniel Mullings has been an Aggie All-Star since he stepped foot on campus. The senior from Canada, who continues to climb the career scoring ladder, etched his name into the record books as the all-time steals leader with number 218 in his Aggie career. Coming in at number 5 on our list is senior wide receiver Gerald Brown's 87-yard reception against Texas State. It was the 3rd longest in New Mexico State history and was a shining moment for the Aggies this season. Number 4. New Mexico State's Sasha Weber led the Aggies to a major win in the Rio Grande rivalry, the first win for the Aggies over UNM since '07. Sasha hit 5 threes and matched her career high with 23 points for the 2nd straight game. One day later, Weber was named WAC Player of the Week. Number 3. The Aggie men's golf team hosted the Herb Wembley Intercollegiate Tournament this semester, which featured 13 teams from around the country. New Mexico State dominated the tourney, finishing in first place by 12 strokes as a team. In individual play, 3 Aggies tied for the first place title. New Mexico State went into their December matchup with UTEP extremely short-handed, but that didn't stop the Aggies from knocking off the Miners in front of 9,000 fans at the Pan Am Center. Senior DK Eldridge helped guide the Aggies to the victory and added salt to the wound with a last-second dunk, sealing the Miners' fate in style. And coming in number 1 on our list is the face of the future for the Aggie football program. Running back Larry Rose III became the first true freshman since 1995 to compile 1,000 rushing yards for a season. Despite missing action during the year due to injury, Rose III ran for a total of 1,160 yards to break a 20-year-old record. The future is bright for Rose and the Aggies. It wasn't easy whittling down the Aggies' highlights from this semester, and we don't have time to recap them all, so be sure not to miss a single moment in 2015. When we return, I'll be sitting down with Aggie men's basketball senior Daniel Mollings. Stay tuned. This is New Mexico State Sports Weekly. Welcome back to New Mexico State Sports Weekly. He's been a game changer for the Aggies since day one and has elevated his game every step of his career. He's the reigning WAC Player of the Year and became the all-time steals leader in school history earlier this season. When it's all said and done, many will call him one of the best to ever wear the Aggie uniform. We're pleased to be joined by Aggie senior guard Daniel Mollings. Daniel, thanks for joining us. The burning question right now, how's the recovery going with the finger?
So far so good. You know, it's been a slow process so far just because I haven't been able to do much since I got the surgery. Just kind of keep the bandage on a little bit and just let it heal up.
With you injured, Chilina Poway, also Tanvir and Anthony January, are you guys telling yourselves that once you all get healthy around February, this could really get rolling?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, it's tragic to look at all the injuries that seem to have happened all at once. But you know, you got to look at the bright side of things, and we've all sat down and just thought about it, about everybody recovering and how special it can be late January and going into February and going forward.
Can you turn this into a positive at all?
Yeah, I mean, I know I looked at my injury as a positive in the way that. You know, now I can rest my body fully because, you know, a lot of people say in the off season you take time to rest your body and, you know, take time away, but I never really able to do that. I say I'm going to, but I never really sit down and actually rest my legs and my whole body. So, you know, especially for my knees and just everything going forward, I'm able to sit down a little bit and just ice a little bit more and stretch a lot more so I can get ready, you know, to come back and to be full strength when I return.
You became the all-time steals leader earlier this season.
Yeah.
Have you been able to look back on your career and kind of gauge your accomplishments and what you've done here?
I mean, now, you know, you get to do that a little bit, sitting out, and you know, after becoming, you know, number one on the steals list, you know, I kind of just sat back and thought about all the steals and a couple of the special ones, and you know, it was unfortunate it happened in a losing effort, but you know, it was a great accomplishment.
What's left to accomplish? What are you trying to prove the rest of the way?
Just trying to continue to prove that I'm a complete player. You know, came in here, started off with a defensive end, and you know, defense is what I love, so I just want to continue to show that I can keep that up on the defensive end, and also that I've matured on the offensive end as well, and most definitely as a leader.
How did you get to New Mexico State? Take us back to those days.
Well, I mean, coming out of high school, I really didn't have a lot of offers, and you know, Coach Paul Weir, he kind of heard about me because the whole Canadian thing, and you know, he just kind of took a liking into me and got to watch some games and practices, and just got into contact with my mother really, and broke down the whole situation of, you know, instead of going JUCO and having to sit out and miss a couple years, you know, you could just come here, get your grades right, sit out a year, and then have 4 years of eligibility. So, you know, ultimately he sold my mom and then sold me as well, and you know, I'm glad I chose to come here.
You speak of Coach Weir. How big has Marvin Menzies been in your life?
Yeah, they've both been big and instrumental. You know, not only, especially Coach Menzies, not only teaching me basketball things, but also life goals and life skills that I can take on after I leave here.
Your Aggie men's basketball team will take on rival New Mexico Saturday night at the Pan American Center in the Rio Grande rivalry. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. Daniel, we appreciate it. Hope to see you back on the court soon.
Thank you.
When we return, head women's basketball coach Mark Track will join me in the studio to discuss his team's recent win over North Dakota State. Stay tuned. This is New Mexico State Sports Weekly. Your Aggie women's basketball team has achieved a lot of success in the recent weeks. The Aggies have now recorded 3 straight wins, all in double figures, after a convincing 20-point victory last Sunday against North Dakota State. Joining me in the studio to break down the win is head coach Mark Track. Coach, 3 straight wins, all in double figures. Is your team playing at a very high level right now?
We're getting there. We're not. We're playing well. We're not playing great yet, but we're getting there. We're playing a lot better than we did early in the season. But there's still some things we need to work on, especially game management, shot selection, especially in the last 4 minutes of a game. But we got a young team, and they're learning, and right now they're learning to play really, really hard, and that's what I'm happy with. We're playing extremely hard. We're all over the court. We're forcing a lot of turnovers. So we're getting to where we want to be.
You've forced 25 turnovers in 2 straight games now. Has your team really bought in big time at that end of the floor?
Hopefully they have. Hopefully they realize how hard you have to play to force those turnovers and how aware you have to be on the floor and how much you have to communicate. Those are the areas we're really improving on. Playing hard, communicating, your positioning in relationship to the ball. And again, those are all experienced things, but we're getting a lot better at them.
You had 4 players in double figures against the Bison. Are you happy with that balance right now?
Of course, yeah, and that's what we want. We want four players to be consistent and to be in double figures. And I think Abby had 9. She came close to having 5 players in double figures, but that's precisely what we want. Yeah.
Abby Scott, 3 of 5 from 3. Is she turning the corner shooting wise?
Yeah, I think so. She's been traditionally she's been a late starter, and I think that game got her going. And if she starts playing the way she's capable of playing, especially the way Sasha Weber's been playing, I think that we're going to be we're going to be really we're going to be a good basketball team if she starts playing up to her potential.
Sasha's of course been very good lately. Is this the level you want to see her at consistently?
Yeah, and she last 3 games she's been very, very consistent. I think she can. She's a big, strong guard. She was very physical on the offensive end. She got 15 points, only played 20 minutes. We figured we once we got that game, we wanted to rest her and Brianna Freeman, who also played 20 minutes, but we want her fresh for the next game. But she had 15 and 20 minutes. She defended, she rebounded, she had a good floor game. She gave us a good presence. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way she's progressing right now.
In addition to defense, you wanted to see improvements in rebounding. Have you seen improvements in that area?
At times. I mean, we out-rebounded the team last night, but they got too many offensive rebounds. We do at times, but we're not a 40-minute rebounding team. And part of that's our size, but I think we're getting tougher. And rebounding's all heart, especially offensive rebound. It's all heart and desire. And again, they're learning they're learning to box out, but we still have a long way to go in rebounding. We're getting there, and we're not getting out-rebounded by a ton. But there's key situations where at Weber State we have a chance to win the game, and they get 3 offensive rebounds on missed free throws. They missed 3 free throws in a row and got their rebound consecutively. So we can't let things like that happen. But we are getting better in that area. We are concentrating on it, and the kids are really, really giving attention to that area of the game.
After the break, Coach and I will look ahead to his team's end-of-the-year stretch. That comes your way next on New Mexico State Sports Weekly. Welcome back to New Mexico State Sports Weekly. There's only a few weeks left before the end of the year, and your New Mexico State women's basketball team will hit the road, starting with 2 games this weekend in Long Beach, California. With me in the studio is head coach Mark Track. Coach, you go to Long Beach, you take on Pacific and Florida Atlantic. What's your preview of those 2?
Pacific is a very good team. They played well in the West Coast Conference. It's a really tough conference. They just lost one of their best big kids, unfortunately, to an injury. But it'll be a good test. I mean, it'll be a good RPI game for us. It'll be a good game against a quality opponent. So we're looking forward to that. And Florida Atlantic, I don't know much about them. We haven't watched the tapes, but I think they'll be competitive also.
You head back home to a place you know very well. How excited are you to head back to Long Beach?
I'm really excited. Graduated from there, of course, coached at Pepperdine SC, Brea High School, so kind of grew up in Southern California. So a lot of my friends will be at the games, and the head coach at Long Beach State is a young lady that I've coached since she was in 5th grade. Coached in high school and has been my assistant for 13 years at Pepperdine and USC. Jody Wynn, who's an outstanding coach. So I'm really looking forward to watching her team play, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of my old friends at those games. It's going to be fun.
It's a neat venue, and it's typically a pretty good atmosphere as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, it's a very neat venue. I mean, the pyramid, and they usually get a lot of people there, and it's an absolutely great atmosphere. I don't know if you've ever seen their floor. They've got palm
Sure.
trees all
Yeah.
over it. So, looking forward to going there, and it's just a nice area to visit.
3 straight wins for your team, but is there still another level you can get to?
Yeah, I think I didn't know how important that win against New Mexico was, but they beat a very good UTEP team by 15 last night, so that that helps our RPI. But I think we've got to get a lot better in our conference. Our conference, we've got a couple. Bakersfield is playing really, really well. I mean, almost beat Nebraska at Nebraska, beat Arizona at Arizona. Texas Pan Am, beat New Mexico, and they played Texas Tech very, very tough, and they played Texas A&M very tough. So it's going to be a tough conference.
Which areas are you looking to improve on right now to get better?
Rebounding, and again, shot selection, especially in the last 4 minutes of the game. But we've definitely got to improve on rebounding. I think we've improved defensively. We've got to continue to improve defensively. But rebounding is going to be the big statistic for us moving on.
Do you feel like depth is a big reason why your defense has been so good?
Yeah, I think we've got good depth. We've got good play coming off the bench, and I think it'll even get better as some of the bench kids get more experience. I think Jasmine Cooper, freshman, has a ton of athletic ability and potential, and I think once she gets comfortable in the college game. So I think depth's a big thing. That's the only reason we could press for as long as we can. We just can't do it with 5, 6, 7 people. So that is a very strong contributing factor. Yes.
Mariah Mack has had a really good couple of games now. Can she be a go-to player for your team?
Yeah, Mo, it's up to her. Mo wants to shoot. She can do it. It's just she's so unselfish. It's hard getting her to shoot. She'd rather penetrate in a key and pass. And last night she got in the key and she took that beautiful jump shot. I mean, she's shooting over 6'1" kids. She can get in the air. She's got a high shooting pocket. We want her to play more like that. I mean, she still only took 10 shots. She got 18 points on 10 shots. I'd like her to take 10 to 15 shots a game. I always tell Mo, I said, Mo, I mean, Abby has no conscience. Why don't you go take some of her shots? But hopefully she'll continue. But like I said, she's so unselfish that she doesn't really like doing that. It's not in her.
Log on to nmstatesports.com to keep up with your Aggie women's basketball team as they wrap up 2014 on the road. When we return, head softball coach Kathy Rodolph will visit the studio to fill us in on her team's development in preparation for the season to come. Don't go anywhere. This is New Mexico State Sports Weekly. New Mexico State softball wrapped up fall play in mid-October, and now the Aggies are gearing up for the 2015 season, which begins in early February. Joining me in studio to discuss Aggie softball is the head coach, Kathy Rodolph. Coach, the season's almost here. Excitement level very high right now?
Very high. We feel like we finished the fall strong and have a lot of depth in all of the different positions. Pitching really improved. And if all of the pieces come together in spring, this is going to be the making of a great season.
You finished up fall play in mid-October. Which individuals really shined during the fall?
Well, I would say that our pitching bullpen really stood out. We have a newcomer in Dallas McBride that's a left-handed pitcher, and she throws upper 60s, and that really helps in being left-handed. Carista Donisthorpe is a redshirt junior. She came back really strong, did really well. Michaela McAdams from Tucson, a junior, also did well, great down zone pitcher. Offensively, what I was most impressed with, we stole 40 bases in 8 games. And last year, I felt like we could really hit the long ball, but our short game didn't really come through the way we had hoped. And so we went out, recruited more speed, brought in 7 very talented freshmen, and they're joining 14 returners, so very balanced team.
Do you like that mix of the newcomers and the returners?
Well, I do, and I expect great things out of our senior class. We have Stacy Rodriguez, who was named WAC Player of the Year 2 years ago, and Lacey Rother, that was WAC Player of the Year last year, both seniors, that'll hit in the middle of the lineup, along with Kelsey Dodd, left-handed first baseman, that's a senior. And we expect a lot out of our seniors. They know what we're going to go up against, and they know what the challenges of the season is. But more importantly, we're excited that we have so many home games so that we can really get our feet under us.
Going back to the pitching quickly, Coach, you used 4 pitchers during the fall. Will you use all 4 during the season?
Oh, absolutely. You'll see probably 2 in every game. What I like about my pitchers is they all give me a different look. They give me a different speed. They can throw a variety of pitches. So the minute that somebody's able to get their timing down, say the 4th, 5th inning, I can make a change and they have to start getting their timing down again.
A loaded non-conference schedule, some big-time opponents coming to Las Cruces. Is this one of the best you put together?
It really is. Nebraska, we've been fortunate enough to have come in for the last probably 5-6 years to our first tournament. We also have Texas Tech, Kansas, but then we have a doubleheader with the University of Arizona and a doubleheader with Arizona State here. And it'll be the first time that we've had a doubleheader with Arizona State. And I think it'll be great competition. I'm hoping that we'll get a lot of fan support to come out and really see great softball.
The weather here in Las Cruces, outstanding year-round. Is that a huge advantage for your team?
Oh, by far. The only weather we have is wind, and it's that annoying wind in late March and April. But in 12 years, knock on wood, I've never been rained out, snowed out. I think we've been in a gym 4 times. So we love, Mother Nature and us are working well together.
What's the schedule like, Coach, leading up to the season now?
Well, unfortunately, we have to send our kids home for a month, and so we're going to have to trust and believe that they're going to work out on their own and come back in the same shape that they left in. But I believe that competition kind of helps out a little bit. So we're just going to get in scouting reports, start figuring out who we're going to play first, and take one game at a time.
The Aggies will begin their season in early February in sunny Las Cruces. Coach, we appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, too.
That will do it for New Mexico State Sports Weekly in 2014. I'm Adam Young saying thank you for watching and Happy New Year.